Okay, so boom. So this is part two of why I'll never go back to the city of Boston ever again. So I go to, like I said, I go to meet up with this girl that I'm supposed to be living in her house. The rent is super cheap. It's $800 a month. I check out the way the place is furnished, and it's furnished so beautifully. Like, it was great, even for today's standards. And there was a bedroom that was fully furnished. It was purple and black and gray, like in tones, and it had a TV, a huge TV, and like drawers and everything. Like, this was amazing for me, like just coming out of college, not having that much money to pay for furniture. And I'm just like, wow. And then a couple of days before that, in a dream, I had a dream that I was gonna have a room that was purple and gray and black. So I was like, oh, like this is God telling me this is your home, girl. So I'm like, oh, like yes, like I'll take it, whatever. We sit on the couch for hours about different topics, and we're like pretty much aligning on everything. And we're just talking about like what it is to be a black girl. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like this is gonna be like the best experience. Like I'm so happy that like the other people rejected me because now I found like my soul sister, and you know this room is fully furnished. Before in the other situation, I would have had to pay for furniture. So I'm just thinking like this is amazing. So shortly after I moved in, and I was already feeling the vibe that this wasn't gonna go the way I had thought. I had come in with a lot of like spices and food and stuff like that because I was living somewhere else. So I had to clear out the fridge of the previous place that I was living. And my roommate asked me one day like, oh, why is there salt in your closet? And I'm like I was young, and I was like, oh no, like it's because I didn't finish packing like all my things into the house from the day before because I had to go to work early in the morning. So yeah, that's why it's in my closet. And then I thought to myself like hours later, like, wait, why are you in my closet enough to know what's in there like while I'm not home? So that was like the first red flag. There were like a lot of like maroon flags, in fact, like when I think about it. She was like very particular, like, so I already felt like there was a power differential because obviously I'm younger, I'm 10 years younger, and I'm coming into her space and it's fully furnished and I'm enjoying all this furniture. I came in with nothing. So like I feel like even though we're splitting the rent, I feel like beholden upon her rules. So she started to escalate her behavior to the point where like when I would have people over, she would tell me to tell my family members to take off their shoes in her living room. Me, tell my African uncles to take off their shoes in my house as per what? So like when it got to that, I started to tell her like, girl, no, like I'm not gonna tell them, like that's ridiculous. Like I'm sorry, like if they mess up your couch with their shoes so badly, I'll pay for the cleaning, but I'm not telling my relatives and family members to take off their shoes when they're visiting me. That's ridiculous. The other thing that she did was she would wake me up out of my sleep, and I used to work so much that period of time, like 12 hours a day. She would wake me up out of my sleep to tell me that I moved the curtain in the shower the wrong direction, that when I got out of the shower I pushed it to the left, but it was supposed to be pushed to the right. She would wake me up out of my sleep at midnight to have me correct this. Other things were one time I made a sandwich and I left 3 crumbs on the counter, literally 3. She took a picture of the 3 crumbs, knocked on my door, barged inside, and told me to take a look at the mess that I've made. This is even making my chest tight. Like, she was insane. Like, so as you can imagine, I was doing everything possible to always avoid her, which resulted in me not really getting to go to the kitchen to cook food because I didn't want to stay there long enough for her to bump into me and tell me that I had done something wrong. So this got to the point where I started to lose drastic weight because I wasn't eating because I couldn't go to the kitchen because I was so uncomfortable. It's to the point where I put on my Fashion Nova jeans. You know, Fashion Nova used to have them jeans. They still do, but like especially back in like 2016, I put on my Fashion Nova jeans and there was air in the jeans because I was so skinny from avoiding this girl and not going to the kitchen to eat that I lost so much weight that my jeans didn't fit. And when the wind blew, the air entered my jeans and would do like this. That is how much I tried to avoid this girl.